What's going on, guys? Gabe with ReviewDork, and let's talk about this tweet. Let's talk about the end of the day. Let's talk about Mud Capital. Let's talk about the art of war. And this video is meant to calm all you new apes down. Us OGs, we're battle tested, and we believe in Adam Aaron, the almighty silverback. But let's look at this play. Watch out, naysayers. AMC is going to play on offense again. Here we come. I love that. Me personally, I love that. And then later in the day, we see the dip in the price, and it was obvious someone sold, and it was Mud Capital. Now, Mud Capital bought the shares from AMC at a 4% premium last week, and then sells it today on the premise that AMC stock is overvalued. But wait a second, you bought the stock overvalued, and you probably stood to make $40 million today alone on the premise that is overvalued. Last time I checked, we invest in the stock market because we believe in a company, or we invest in a company because we believe in its trajectory, right? So whenever is a stock supposed to go down? Did you invest for it to go down? Yes. Mud Capital bought the shares to create FUD and FUD alone. Now, the art of war. We're going to talk about the art of war in a second, but let's really consider a couple of things. A Quiet Place had a post-pandemic blockbuster weekend. Did better than King Kong versus Godzilla. No one's really talking about that. No one's really talking about the recovery of AMC. No one's talking about how it's actually a good thing to have an extra $250 million in the covers. No one's really talking about that. The stock reflected enthusiasm today, and it reflected faith from the retail investor. Now, when we look at the volume for today, 473 million, that is amazing. And it's still running after hours. Now, when we look at the volume last week, we see on May 28th, this chart's a little funny to deal with, but May 28th, the volume was 660 million. On May 27th, 705 million. If I'm a CEO and I want to raise more cash and make my books look sexier, I'm going to do it this time. But there's a whole lot of volume, and not when we were only doing about 35 million volume in a day. So smart move, Adam. Smart move, making the money. Smart move, making sure that those shares got eaten up by apes. Smart move. Now, did Adam Aaron anticipate this? I'd like to believe so. Anyone who has ever been in a leadership position will have the book, The Art of War, referred to them. And I want to go through some quotes here because they are applicable. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. But we're going to get to that in a second, guys. Next quote that stands out. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. And finally, all warfare is based on deception. Hence, when we are able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must appear inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. Guys, the apes were mobilized. The stock was in a downward trend. There was FUD already spreading on the 8.5 million share dilution. But then it runs, right? It runs. Now, most of the running happened pre-market, and then it dips, right? So that was a FUD tactic. The share skyrockets, and then that's when Mud sells. How does that make sense? Now, let's go to Vortex here. 2.15% short interest change. So, yeah, AMC is still being shorted. But why? The average cost to borrow is 14.14% with 100,000 shares available. Apes, you need to give yourself a round of applause. With the 8.5 million shares diluted, only 100,000 shares are available for shorting. That's rather impressive. Now, considering this move, and you new apes, if you've done your DD, or if an old school ape schooled you, You might have come across the idea that's been speculated that the SEC is working with AMC to make a case against market manipulation and malpractice. And ladies and gents, this, if this isn't blatant market manipulation, then the SEC is just not doing their job. But I tell you what, us apes, we're going to do our job. We're going to keep buying. We're going to keep holding. We just proved how strong we are as a community. Guys, got to be proud of yourself. AMC, we ain't fucking leaving. And now the world knows. This is Gabe. I'm signing out. Peace.